Like you. Oh my, was I ever that little?
Yes, and you lived in India. Mommy told me so. I want to hear about the lions and the tigers and the magic.
Magic?
Yes, India is magic. Everyone knows that.
Do they now? Well, I didn't. I didn't even believe in magic before I came to this place. And later met and married your grandfather and...
Oh, grandmother, I've already heard that story.
Well, the magic started a bit before that.
Well, tell me about that too. But first, I want to hear about India. And the Rajas and the snake charmers and...
Oh, all right, child. I shall tell you that which I can remember. Although I'm afraid it's not very much. Sometimes it seems I wasn't even born before I came to this place. Well, let's see. I suppose my first memory was of the party.
A party? Oh, I do love parties. Was it gay and
Now, how can I tell you the story if you keep interrupting? Yes, the party was all those things, although I'm afraid it did not end up very well. The party was given by my mother. She had grand parties, always. She was such the social butterfly. At this particular party, I made an appearance against my parents' orders. I hid under a table in my nightgown the whole night until I was caught and dragged back to my nursery by Aya, my Indian nanny.
Missy Sahib, you spoiled your parents' party. Your father has told you many times over you are neither to be seen or heard when they are guests. Now get into bed and go to sleep.
It's not fair! It's not fair! I'm a person too!
Your mother has told me you may have no supper or water tonight. You are being punished for disobeying her order.
Get me food! Get me water! Now!
Missy Sahib, you know I must obey your mother. If I do not, she will turn me loose and I will have no home. You must listen to her too. Now say your prayers so I can tuck you in and you may go to sleep. Tomorrow will be a better day.
All right, all right. God bless us in the daytime and in the nighttime too. God always make us mindful of what we ought to do. Oh, sometimes I wish that my father would like me, but he is too preoccupied and has no time for play. He thinks such high and lofty thoughts, and he always wears a silk-top hat. I'll meet a man who's just like that and marry him someday. God bless us in the daytime and in the nighttime too. God always make us mindful of what we ought to do. Oh, sometimes I wish that my mother would love me, but she is too preoccupied and has no time with me. She is very, very pretty, and her dresses are all full of lace. Though I'll never have her pretty face, I'll be like her someday. God bless our day and night time. We ask you once again. It's me, God, Mary Lennox. Good night, amen. There, I said them, although I don't know what good it'll do, since no one ever seems to be listening to me. It's not fair, it's not.
Missy Sahib, please calm down. Please go to bed now, please.
I don't want to! I don't want to! I want to go to the party! I want to! I want to!
Missy Sahib, now you've done it. Here comes your father.
What desolation! Sergeant. I never thought I'd be on a detail like this, counting up the city's dead. Half the city wiped out by the cholera.
Needn't shout Grundy with the whole place a tomb. 'Tis grim business, and that's a fact.
Sorry, Sergeant. Says here, on this record, this was the home of that pretty woman. Her and her rich diplomat husband.
Both gone now. Just goes to prove there's no sense in storing up worldly treasures.
Too true, too true. Also says there was a child, a little girl.
Not that I've ever heard nor saw. But we're here. Let's take a look around, just to be sure.
Sergeant! Come quick!
Why, it's her, the girl no one ever saw. Mercy, she's been forgotten.
I'm Mary Lennox. Why have I been forgotten? Why does no one come?
Poor little kid. There's no one left to come. Do you suppose she knows what's happened?
How could she not know with all you're shouting about?
I'm hungry.
And so you must be. Come along now, little one. Let me take you to a place where you'll be cared for.
Hey! Wait for me, Sergeant! Wait for me!
And that is how I discovered that my mother and my father and many of our servants, including my ayah, had died. But you mustn't think me cold-hearted for not crying. I didn't have parents who loved me the way that your mommy and daddy do you. Why, in truth, I didn't even know mine. At any rate, soon thereafter, many children and I were put on a big boat to sail across the sea to England. And then, we each of us were put on trains that would take us to our new families.
Well, they're nearly all gone now. Just the 4 left. Oh, James, I cannot wait to get home. Isn't it wonderful to have our feet on good English soil and just breathe that clean, fresh air?
It is a relief to be sure. Such a tragedy that brought us back.
I know, my love, I know. Still, we must be grateful God has brought our family back home and our 2 boys safe and healthy.
Thankful I am. Mighty thankful.
She's such an odd child, isn't she? Never smiling and always off by herself.
She's not a child, not really. That wee child is as old as the hills in her mind.
And so plain. It's hard to believe who her mother was. Such a strikingly pretty woman.
Seems to me, if her mother had taken her pretty face more often to the nursery, she wouldn't be such an odd child, seems to me.
My love, we mustn't speak ill of the dead.
Perhaps, but there is a difference between speaking ill and speaking the truth. I'll go check on the luggage, make sure it's ready.
What's that you're doing there?
I'm making a garden. Leave me alone.
Doesn't look like a garden. Why don't you put a heap of stones there and make it look like a rockery?
Go away. You don't know anything. I don't want boys.
And what's that into a Basil? What did you do? I didn't do anything. She is being Mistress Mary again. Mistress Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and marigolds in a row.
Go away, you boys. I don't want you. I don't want you.
Is that so? Well, we don't want you either. And it's not going to be us going away, it's going to be you. You're to be sent home and we're glad of it.
I'm glad of it too.
Where is home? You hear that, Percy? Where is home? I didn't even say I don't know anything. You don't even know where you live.
I'm going to live in Devonshire with my grandmother. I grew up with my grandma too, and my grandma sister Mabel.
She's not. She didn't have a grandmother or a sister. You're not living on the wild desert more with your crazy uncle.
I don't know anything about that.
Of course you don't. Girls don't know anything. When Percy and I are mother and father talking, you're not living in a big desolate house in the country called Miss Away Man. You mean Miss O'Wraith Manor? No, I just think to your mother. Ouch! And do you know why they call it Miss O'Wraith Manor? Do you? Because it's filled with more race than you can count.
What's a race?
You really don't know anything, do you? Why, it's a ghost, of course. Ghosts and ghoulies haunt the wild moor, looking for little Mistress Mary to devour. That's right. That's right.
There is a mansion, a dark, wretched mansion, a miserable land that is haunted, so they say. And there's a hunchback, a horrible hunchback. And there's a hunchback, a horrible hunchback, a man who will frighten you if you should never stay. Mr. Craven like with breakfast every night at Miss O'Reilly's. There was red in the air from the hall to the stairs, and a horrible, deplorable foreboding. And if you dare to journey there, you'd better beware. Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven Man. There was a garden, a beautiful garden that once had been tended by a woman living there. But it is said that the garden is dead. It's as dead as a woman's ghost who screams are in the air. Who is this woman, this ghost of a woman that haunts Mr. Craven? There are wretched Mr. Brave. Where is her garden, her old secret garden? Is it a clue to Mr. Craven and his fate? We would advise you to beware and stay away. There's a gloomy secret garden there at Miss O'Reilly. There's a hunchback woman's heart in there at Miss O'Reilly. It was terror and hope for the fools who would go to this pressing man at Miss O'Reilly. And if you dare to a journey there, you'd better beware. Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven, Mr. Craven Man.
Be quiet! I won't listen to you!
Basil, Percy, what are you about there?
Nothing, Father.
I see that you are. Come along there, little Mary Lennox. You won't want to miss your train. Come along now.
Was it as scary as they said, Grandmother?
Oh, not so scary as it was different from anything I had ever known in India. Well, the sergeant told me a bit about it on the train, but nothing could have prepared me for my first glimpse of that wild and strange moor, nor for my first meeting with Mrs. Medlock. Mrs. Medlock, Mrs. Medlock, Mrs. Medlock, what a rude shock indeed.
You must be Mary, that miserable Mary, a helpless and hopeless, are plain as plain can be. Well, you are here now, but I'll make it clear now. You better behave and never inconvenience me. Well, here you are at last, Mary Lennox. Oh my, but you're a plain piece of goods, aren't you? Oh, and it was reported your mother was a great beauty. Well, she didn't hand anything down to you, to be sure. Oh, well, perhaps you'll change with age. Oh, although there's nothing here at Miss Awake to change you for the better.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Oh, do you now, little missy? Well, I'll forgive your tone. For after all, you've had a long trip. Come along, come along. I'm Mrs. Medlock. I am head housekeeper here. Oh, I suppose I should tell you something about this place that you've come to live. What do you know from your parents?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing at all. They never spoke to me.
Oh, really? Well, I guess you'll fit right into this odd place then. It's a big, grand place in a gloomy way.
I don't care.
You don't care? Aren't you curious about anything?
No, I only want a bed.
Oh, you're very much like an old woman, aren't you? Oh, why his lordship, your uncle, would want to bring one such as you here, I will never know. He won't be troubling himself with you, that's for sure. He never troubles himself with anyone. He's got a crooked back, and that's what set him wrong. Even with all his money, he was a sour young man. Oh, that was until your aunt married him.
My aunt?
Yes, didn't you know your aunt? Your father's sister. That's how you and your uncle are related. Oh, she was a pretty young thing. Oh, and he would have walked the wide world just to pick her one blade of grass. He was that mad for her. Oh, some people said she only married him for his money, but that wasn't true. She was mad for him also. Oh, and when she died...
She died?
Oh, yes, 10 years ago now. Oh, and it made your uncle very strange in the head. So you must expect to never see him ever. You're going to have to take care of yourself, and you're going to have to play by yourself, because nobody here has any time for you either. Come along, come along. Well, here we are. You're to stay in your room or play outdoors. Here are 3 shillings allowance that your uncle has stipulated you are to receive weekly. A ridiculous sum for a child, if you ask me. Now, there's your bed and there's your nightdress. Now, mind you, no wandering or snooping about. Your uncle won't have it.
I shouldn't want to go snooping about this dusty old house anyway. I didn't like this house, and I don't like it more. It's wild and dreary and dead. It sounds like the sea. In fact, I hate it!
Hello there. Not that asleep already. Put your bedclothes on. Is that a game they're playing then? Why, the house in a dark place after all.
What did you say?
I forgot Mrs. Medlock told me you wouldn't be able to understand the broad Yorkshire. What I meant to say was, when I heard you was coming all the way from India, I thought your skin would be darker instead of all yellow like.
You thought I'd be a native? You girl, you, is that what you thought?
Him now, you needn't be so bad.
Pig! Pig! Daughter of pigs!
Who are you calling names anyway for a young lady to act? Here now, you mustn't cry so, for I've got nothing against the Indians. I was fair play to start seeing one, for I never had before, and my mother always saying how all of us are alike in the eyes of the Lord, and we most likely look as strange to them as they do to us. I beg you, miss, do stop crying.
But they're not like us. They are servants who must do everything we say and vow and...
To be sure, then I'm very same. For I'm Mrs. Medlock's servant, and she Lord Craven's servant, and all of us servants of man.
You're a strange servant.
And I know it. I talk too common and too much, but Mrs. Medlock says I'll do good weight on the bit. Here, I'll just lay the fire so you can be nice and toasty warm.
What are you doing?
I thought you was waiting for a bit of a tickle.
Certainly not. I was waiting for you to dress me.
Can you not dress yourself?
No, I never have in my life. My nanny Aya always dressed me.
Well, it's time to learn. Oh, all right, it cannot hurt this time, I suppose. But even my youngest sister can tie herself up and lace her own boots. What was that?
You have a sister?
I, sisters and brothers, 12 of us in all, tumbling about the moor all day like a lot of wild ponies. And someday, you'll be there with us, growing fat and get color in them yellow cheeks of yours.
Me? How that? Never. I hate them all. It's wild and dead and bad. And it goes on forever.
Dead and bad? None of the sort. The only doesn't like it because they aren't used to it. Why, when you live on it, you'll come to know it as I do, and you'll love it.
But how can you love it? How can anyone?
It's the dearest place on earth. I wouldn't live away from any of it. Still, somebody's open heaven's door, and the moon shines bright on the mist that's a blanket down the dear moon. Then morning breaks and unto thee? Sleep softly, merry linnets, and let the moor wind sing ye a lullaby. Still, 'tis a bit of a shame that aren't native. Look at this lovely breakfast set up for you this morning. Porridge with butter and toast and even a little bit of my mother's homemade marmalade sent for Mr. Craven himself.
I don't want it.
Does the not want your porridge?
No.
Well, here, I'll just put a little fresh.
I tell you, I'm not hungry.
But if it doesn't eat, they'll get sick.
I was always sick in India.
Well, I can see why. 'Tis a sin to let these good victuals go to waste. Why, if our lot was at this table, they'd clean it bare in 5 minutes.
Why?
Well, my father only makes 16 shillings a week, and my mother's always hard-pressed to put food on the table, and, well, they've never had a full meal in all of their lives, and they're always as hungry as wild foxes.
Well, I am a girl, not a fox, and I still don't want it.
Well, at least have a sip of tea. Then we'll wrap you up nice and warm so you can go out and play.
Out? Outside? What shall I do there? Will you come out with me?
Oh, nay, I've got me work to do. You must learn to play by the self like other children with no brothers and sisters do. Why, our ticket goes outside and spends all day on the moor, and all the wild animals know him, and even wild birds eat out of his hands.
I don't want to go out there. It's too big. I might get lost.
Well, why don't you go to the gardens?
Mrs. Medlock spoke of the gardens.
Oh, aye, they're wonderful. Why, when Mrs. Craven moved here, she had gardens planted everywhere, and would spend all day in them. Why, she even had her own special garden that only her and Mr. Craven were allowed into. But then she died there, and the garden was never went into again.
Where is the garden?
I don't know. Oh, where is my mother up to? My mother sent a present for thee.
A present for me?
She ran into Mrs. Medlock in the village, and Mrs. Medlock was telling her about how you were so terrible thin, and my mother went right home and got my old skipping rope.
But what is it for?
What's it for? You tell me they don't got skipping ropes in India. For all they've got tigers, camels, and elephants. Here, let me try to show thee. I haven't skipped the rope in a long time. I can definitely skip more than that. Skipped as many as 500 when I was your age.
Do you think I could do that?
Just try it. Yeah! Best try it outside, lest you break something in here.
Martha, thank you, Mother.
Truly thou art an oldish woman, Miss Mary. For if it was our Elizabeth Ellen, she'd have given me a kiss.
Morning's a breaking, I'm a raking, God's little leaves up off his floor. I'm God's gardener here in the mist that's a blanketine the dear moor. As morning breaks, I do me raking, all to myself this blessed chore. And the world's alive with God's creatures that's wandered on the moor.
I've never skipped rope before, and I'm already up to 10.
And thou shouldst keep at it. You're not doing well for one who's lived among the heathens.
You know who I am?
Aye, you're the wee wench that came to live with us from India. Mrs. Medlock told us about you. I'm Ben Weatherstaff.
What is this place?
One of the kitchen gardens.
That place over there?
Another one of them.
May I go there?
If thou likes, but there's really not much to do.
But what's that you're doing there?
I'm clearing away the leaves and such, so when the earth warms a bit, the leaves can pop up and get fed by the sun.
Oh, look! There's a little bird on the wall.
Why, that's the robin. Where have you been, you cheeky little beggar?
Oh, do you know him?
I know him and he knows me. I don't get along well with people. so he keeps me company when I get lonely.
I'm lonely. I've no friends at all. No one has ever liked me.
That'll get lonely in a place like this. What's your name?
Mary Lennox.
Well, I reckon that you and I are cut from the same cloth. Neither one of us good looking, and I warrant we both have the same nasty tempers.
Oh, mind, he's singing again, and he's looking right at me.
Well, I think he's decided to be friends with you.
With me? Would you like to be friends with me, little Robin? Would you?
You said that as nice and soft as Dickon himself with the wild things on the moor.
Do you know Dickon?
Everyone knows Dickon. Why, the wild things on the moor know. The foxes don't hide their cubs from him, and the skylarks show him where the nests are hidden.
Oh, there he goes. Over that wall and past that orchard. I can see him there in the treetops.
Well, if he's going to courting, that's where he'll be building his nest, among the roses there.
Roses? Are there roses there?
At least there were 10 years ago, and all sorts of them.
Oh, I should very much like to see them. There were roses in India.
You cannot. No one can. Don't be a meddlesome wench. Go play. I have no more time for you.
Robin! Robin, where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, I like you. And you're the prettiest bird in all the world. I suppose you're talking to me because you want to be my friend, don't you? But what's that you have there? I thought it was a key, but it isn't. Wait, it is a key. It's all rusted in the lock. It looks as if it's been there for years. Perhaps even 10 years. Perhaps this is the door to the forgotten garden. Is it, pretty bird?
Garden.
Were you able to work more in the garden that day, Grandma?
Oh, yes. And I know I should have asked permission to enter, but being a child who is not used to having to ask for anything, I just went right in, sort of stolen in a manner of speaking. But that lovely and mysterious garden was not the only mystery needing solved at Misselwaite Manor, for later that evening I encountered another.
And I skipped rope 20 times in a row.
20 times? Why, upon my word, Miss Mary, perhaps that's a child's blood running through your veins after all.
I do. And I met Ben Weatherstaff, the gardener, and he showed me some of his plants. He said he and I were just alike. And then he said I was just like Dickon.
Oh, Ben spoke to you? Well, Lord preserve us all, the world's coming to an end. But how has he said he was like our Dickon?
Oh, because I spoke to a robin. The prettiest robin in all the world. And he spoke back to me. Truly he did.
Oh, my word, Miss Mary, that has had quite a day. And on top of it all, 2 helpings of rice pudding and 2 pieces of meat. Mother will be so pleased when I tell her what skipping rope and fresh air has done for thee.
Martha, what are all those little round white roots that look like onions?
Why, they're bulbs. Lots of those spring flowers come from bulbs. Why, there's crocuses, snowdrops, narcissus, jonquils, and my favorite taffy down lilies. Them are Dickon's favorites, too. He's got a whole lot of them planted in our garden at home.
Dickon knows about gardens?
Oh, he can make a flower grow out of a brick wall. My mother says he just whispers them right out of the ground.
Martha, do bulbs live a long time?
Oh,
if there was no one to care for them?
Oh, them to help themselves, but they can spread out and have little ones too. That's why us poor folks can afford to have them. Why, there's a place in the world with thousands of snowdrops, and they're so old no one even knows who first planted them. It's a glorious sight.
Oh, I wish it was spring now, and I wish I had a little spade.
I thought we were going to take digging too.
Thought I might. If I could find some ground in this lonely place, I might even plant some seed if Ben Weatherstaff would give me some.
Well, sure you could ask him. But didn't I see in the little village shop in Kuwait the most adorable little garden set with a shovel and fork all tied up for just 2 shillings?
I've more than that. Uncle said I should have 3 shillings a week to spend.
Did you remember you that much then? My word, what riches. I just thought of something else. The little shop in Kuwait has flower seed too, for just a penny apiece.
Oh, I wish I could go there.
Well, our Dickon goes there almost every day. Does they know how to print letters?
Yes, but I don't spell very well.
Well, our Dickon can read printing and isn't too particular in how it's spelled. If you write him a letter,
Then he could buy me the little spade and flower seed.
the ant will get the prettiest ones too, and can tell you they can grow.
I will write him. I'll do it right now.
I've got a pen and paper.
But what shall I write exactly?
Here, all help. Dear Dickon,
This comes hoping to find you well, as we are the same. Miss Mary is writing this in hopes that you will go to Twait and buy her some flower seeds and a set of garden tools. Pick the prettiest ones and easiest to grow, because she has lived in India where everything is different. Give Mother my love, and Mary is going to tell me all about lions and tigers and camels and the gentlemen who hunt them, so I can tell you my next day off. Your loving sister, Martha Phoebe Sowerby.
now we'll seal it up and put the coins in, and I'll send it out with the butcher boy in the morning. And then Dickon can deliver them to you.
Oh, shall I get to meet him then?
Aye.
I never thought I should.
He's been wanting to meet you.
Me? Oh,
Best be getting to bed. The sooner you get to sleep, the closer you'll be to meeting Dickon.
Martha, are there ghosts here?
What happened to your mate?
Some boys I know said there were. They said that ghosts roamed the moor and this house.
Well, them who told you that were just telling tales to be silly.
Then what was that crying I heard last night?
Sometimes the moor wind can sound like a lullaby. Sometimes it can sound like a lost child crying. I know what you heard. Little Betty Buttersworth, the scullery maid, had a terrible toothache last night, and she was putting up such a fuss about it that had to be what you heard. Oh, is that Mrs. Medlock's bell? I best go see to it. Good night.
It's not the wind. I'm sure of it. Someone is crying and it doesn't sound at all like little Betty Butterworth. Such a queer place. 100 rooms and most locked. Wonder if Medlock was right about that. Maybe someday I'll try every door and just see. Might even find my aunt's room. After all, I found her garden.
What in the world are you doing here? Why aren't you in bed? What did I tell you about snooping about? No more spying for you.
I was looking for Martha, not Snoopy, and I turned around the corner and thought I heard crying.
Oh, you didn't hear anything of the sort. Now, you get back to your room and into that bed, or I'm going to box your ears. Come along, come along.
There was someone crying. There was, and I'll find out who is it the last thing I do.
Did you really hear something, Grandmother? Yes, indeed, I did. And for me, the mystery of the scary screams only deepened. Why, this strange house had become even stranger. And the mystery, the answer to the mystery, it would take a while before I understood. Oh, the nights were scary. was stormy, and I could hear the screams and the crying. Later, the rain finally stopped, and I was finally free to return to the grounds I had come to love.
Oh, by the saints, you're like the robin. Never know when you'll be popping up.
He's my good friend now.
That's just like him, making up to the ladies. Always wanted to show his flirting and show his tail feathers.
I'm looking for him now. It's been such a long time since I've seen him, with all the dreary rain we've had. I thought it would never end.
Still, you're looking better. Not so yellow looking, and fatter too.
Yes, well, they let me skip around in the hallways, and I am fatter, much fatter. My stockings don't have wrinkles in them anymore. What's that you're planting?
Taters and onions and cabbages.
Do you ever plant roses?
A while ago, a dear young lady taught me how to do it. She was powerful fond of roses. She used to treat them like they were her children. Kissed them and talked to them too.
Where is she now?
Heaven. Oh, there's your friend. Vain and cocky as ever. There he goes a-flying. Better go get him.
Robin! Robin! Don't fly so fast!
Don't move, or I'll frighten them. I'm Dickon, and I know all the art Miss Mary. I got slow just now, it's not so startling. Especially this one here, with the broken wing. David's born in the war, so he must be gentle like them.
Did you get Martha's letter?
Aye, that's why I come. Here's a trowel, and some extra seeds they threw in. You see, there's your poppies. Them move easy. All you got to do is throw them and whistle. Where's our Robbie who's calling us?
Is he really calling us?
Aye, he's calling to his friends and saying, look, I want a bit of a chat. Listen, he's calling to you, Mary, and he's telling me all about thee.
Can you really understand what he's saying?
Most of it. I lived in the moor so long watching every living creature that sometimes I feel like I'm one of them. Maybe I'm a bird or a fox or a rabbit or even a beetle. You see, show me where your garden is, and I'll help you plant these. It's a right good time after all the rain. When they give you a bit of ground, doesn't thee have a place for these?
I don't know anything about boys. Can you keep a secret if I told you? If anyone found out, I believe I might die.
Aye, I keep secrets all the time. Whether bird's nests or a fox comes hiding hole. So the wild thing they say.
I stole in the garden. It isn't my garden, but it isn't anyone's. No one cares about it anymore, and most of it's dead. But I found some things that are alive. I don't care. I don't care. It's all alone with no one to love it.
It's okay, Miss Mary. Oh, please, show me your secret garden, and I'll help you plant these.
All right. It's there with the robin lives.
It's a queer, pretty place. Like a body was in a dream. This is her garden, isn't it?
You know about it?
Aye. Lots of know but few that seen it. I used to wonder what it would be like. And look at all these wild roses. No wonder the robin lives here. Birds love roses.
Roses? Will there be roses? Aren't they all dead?
Well, there's some dead here and there. But see here? See the green? That means swift or alive. We can trim out the dead, and by next summer, well, there'll be fountains of roses. So many, you'll get sick of them.
Oh, I'm so glad they're wick.
And look at here. Who did this?
Oh, I did.
I thought they had no idea of gardening, and you've done this very best thing. A gardener couldn't even done it better.
Oh, it's time for my supper. I best get going before Medlock sends someone out to look to me. Oh, but we didn't even get to walk on the garden. Please, Dickon, will you come again?
I'll come every day, rain or shine.
there's Martha and your mother, even though I haven't met her yet, and Ben Weatherstaff, and the Robin. I know people think I'm a strange lad, but I do think thou art the strangest lass I ever met.
But does it like me?
Thou it does. And so does Robin. And we like these animals.
Then that's two. That's two for me.
There you are. Where have you been? I just sent Martha to look for you. Oh, get up here. Come on, get up here. Let me take a look at you. Oh my goodness, hair flying all around. Oh, and dirt on your face. Oh my goodness. Oh, and look at you here. Oh, I guess that's all we can do. We can't keep him waiting any longer.
Who?
Oh, you sound like an owl girl. My goodness. Your uncle. Seems he saw Susan Sowerby.
Martha's mother?
Oh, don't interrupt. Yes, of course. He saw her in town, and she asked after you. Oh, and he was half ashamed to say he didn't know anything about you. So he decided he should meet you. And he's leaving, so...
Oh, he's leaving? I'm so glad!
Now, look here. You go in there, and you be respectful. Box your ears. Okay? Here you go, your lordship. She's a little bit disheveled, but...
Thank you, Metlock. That'll be all. So, you're married. Come here, child. I forgot you. But then, how could I have remembered you? Are you well? Do they take care of you?
Yes.
I'd intended to get you a nurse, but...
Please, please.
What is it, child?
I am too big for a nurse. I'm fine by myself.
By yourself? What is it you do all day?
I play on the moor, and I skip rope, and I skip and run, and it makes me strong and healthy, and hungry like the fox, and I'm getting very fat.
Yes, well, Mrs. Sowerby said that you should have fresh air and freedom.
Mrs. Sowerby, she knows about children. She has 12. She knows. I play on the moor, and I do no harm.
Harm? Of course not. What harm could a little child like yourself do? Please, lads, don't look so frightened. I know that I'm a poor guardian for any child. I know nothing about them, as you can see, but I need to do right by you. Is there anything that you want? Books or toys? Dolls?
Might I have a bit of earth?
Earth? What do you mean?
To plant seed and to watch them grow and come alive.
Do you care so about gardening?
I didn't in India, but here it's different.
You remind me of someone else who loved the earth and things that grow. If you find a bit of earth that you want, take it. Make it come alive.
Might I take it from anywhere?
Anywhere. There. You must go now.
Oh, that child.
Mrs. Matlock, see to it that my ward is properly attired. I won't have her going around in black anymore. Things are gloomy enough around here as it is.
Yes, sir. Will you be leaving soon, Master Craven?
I leave within the hour. I have urgent business abroad. And you, Mrs. Matlock, must see about my packing.
Yes, sir. Sir, will you see him before you leave?
Mrs. Matlock, you have duties to perform. Be about them.
Yes, sir.
Will I see the boy, she asks. Why can they not understand? Am I so different from any other man? took my hand without trembling. Her eyes were compassionate and warm. With just one look, my spirit grew wondrously still. She calmed its raging storm. I was only half a man. Until she made me whole. She looked beyond my brokenness into my very soul. She was love heaven sent, and I never shall forget. This lonely man must cling to a sweet memory, so he won't be all alone. I love her so, and yet I know she must be free. But how am I to banish love's sweet pain from memory? Lord, how can I face tomorrow without sorrow or regret? When I never shall forget.
At first, I thought it was as Martha had said, only the wind on the moor, crying like a baby.
A baby? Is there a baby in this lake, Nana?
No, I became quite certain it was no baby.
It's different. It's the crying I heard before. I'm going to find out about what it is. Everyone else is in bed and I don't care about Medlock. I don't care! Can this be real?
Can this be real?
Or am I dreaming?
Am I dreaming?
I heard a cry,
Heard a cry.
and even screaming. Screaming? It isn't coming from the moor. It is a true mournful sound. Perhaps it's coming from this bed. I think I'll pull the covers down.
Can you be real?
Of course I'm real.
Or am I dreaming?
You're not dreaming.
How can I tell?
How can you tell?
You pitched me!
How's that for proof? Well, you wouldn't believe me.
It's just that I have some real dreams sometimes, and I thought that you might be one of them.
Well, I'm not. I'm Mary Linus. I live here. Mr. Craven is my uncle.
Your uncle? But he's my father. I'm Colin. Colin Craven.
Colin? No one ever told me he has a boy. Why didn't they?
Because no one ever talks about me, except in whispers. And no one's allowed to see me. Not ever.
This is the strangest house. Rooms are locked up and gardens are locked up. And now you're locked up.
I'm not locked up. I just don't want people seeing me, that's all.
Why ever not?
Because I am ill, and I must stay in bed. And if I live, I should probably be a hunchback like my father. But I should die. Everyone says so.
You mean you never left this room?
I did once. A doctor from London came to see me. I wore an iron brace on my back. When he told them it was stupid, he made them take it off. Then he ordered them to take me to the seashore.
And what happened?
A woman stared hard at me and tried to pat me on my head and said, "Oh, poor boy." But I hated it, so I screamed and screamed and I bit her. And they never dared to take me out again. And that's a good thing, too. Because Mrs. Medlock says that there are frightening things that can get to one's lungs and make them choke and die in fits.
Mrs. Medlock? Oh, she would say that.
What?
Nothing. Oh, look, you've got a collection of Indian
Don't
elephants.
touch those. They're my mother's, and they're not to be touched.
Why do you have them?
Because this was my mother's room, in my father's, before I was born. That's her picture there. But then she died, and my father left me all alone here.
You mean he never comes to visit you?
Only when he thinks I'm asleep. I'm sure my mother would have sat down and talked to me.
Yes, she probably would have. She would have also taken you for long walks, too.
But I shan't walk, and my father should never like me. Secretly, he always hates me. I hear the servants whispering. When I was born, he went crazy, and they always had to push me to the asylum. He never dared to lay eyes on me, and he kept saying I'd probably be a hunchback if I lived, so it'd be better off if I just died.
Yes, he ate your mother's garden, too. That's where she got hurt. He just locked it up and never went back.
Garden? What garden? And how can the garden be locked up?
I don't know. Nobody knows. It's been all but forgotten now.
But it was my mother's garden. Somebody must know. And I will make them tell me. Everyone is obliged to do what I say, or else I shall throw a fit and get very ill.
No! You mustn't! Don't you see? It's been locked up for 10 years. Everything is likely dead by now.
I should still like to see it. I shall order Medlock.
No! You can't do that! If you tell anyone, then everyone shall want to see it, and it shall never be a secret again.
Secret?
Yes, my secret. Our secret. A secret garden.
You mean you should look for it secretly?
Yes, and I shall take you there, and no one shall look at you except for me.
Somehow I don't mind you looking at me. And I shouldn't mind the fresh air if it was my mother's garden. Oh, Mary, do look for it, Howard. Look for it.
Yes, well, I best get going before Medlock finds me here. She shall lock me in my room and never let me out.
I shouldn't let her. But the same perhaps you should go. But you'll come back soon?
Yes, soon. Good night.
So he was real.
Yes, he was real.
You were dreaming.
'Twasn't dreaming. I heard a cry, heard a cry. So now 2 mysteries had been solved, and the next day I simply could not resist disclosing what I had discovered at a picnic with Martha and her mother, Mrs. Sowerby.
This is such an exciting day.
Mary's been a fair jumping since I told you you would help with the cooking at the camp. I knew you would, considering how we needed the extra money.
Aye, the money is a blessing, to be sure. The greatest blessing is spending some time with our girl and meet Miss Mary here at last.
I've never been to a picnic before.
It's plain enough fare. Hot oat cakes and butter and some nice fresh milk. But it'll be nourishing enough for our long walk home.
I only wish Dickon and the others could have come too.
All 12 of us at once. Well, I think that'd be a bit too much, even for thee, Miss Mary.
There's a time for work and a time for play, and just now there's chores to be done at home.
Well, at least you got to meet our girl, Elizabeth Ellen, here.
I can tie my own shoes. So can I. Martha taught me. Martha, can Colin tie his own shoes?
What?
Colin, my cousin. I met him last night.
Oh, Miss Mary, what have you done?
I heard crying again in the night, so I went to see what it was, and I found Colin. You told me it was little Betty Butterworth.
Well, I had to tell you something to ease your mind. Oh, Miss Medlock warned me you weren't to go poking about, and,
Martha, sit down.
but Mrs. Medlock will think I told her, and then she'll fire me for sure.
Do none of the sort, girl.
Of course she won't. Colin will tell her not to. Then she'll have to listen to him.
Ah, so you've met him. Good. What did you think of him?
We got on well enough, I suppose. Although he's been lying in his room for so long, it's made him a bit strange acting.
Aye, poor child. But perhaps your visits will brighten him and make him more natural.
Oh, I'm not sure I shall visit him again. He's very sour, and he always talks of dying.
Oh, please visit him, dear. It would be a great kindness.
Kindness? What's that?
Have you not heard gave you the skipping rope. That was a kindness.
But Clone can't skip. He only gets out of bed.
Perhaps I can explain it a bit better to you, dear. A girl stands on the corner crying flowers. She shivers in the cold. She has been there for hours. A smile and a coin could help to ease her cares. If you were going to give, she always needs your prayers.
A child cries to his father, I'm hungry. His father cries out to the night, won't someone love me? Whenever children cry, whenever fathers fear, God uses you and me to wipe away their tears.
A little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. Don't save it up, it's someone's rainy day. A child should never hide their light. It can make a dark world warm and bright. The love we have within is a beacon to all men, and a little bit of kindness goes a long, long way.
The Clone doesn't need money. He's got lots, and he can have food when he wants it. He's got everything.
He doesn't have a mother.
Yes, well, neither do I, nor a father, but you don't see me crying about it.
Mary, come here, dear. Perhaps we should be kind to Colin for the sake of him who showed kindness to us all.
Who's that?
Who, Miss Mary? Have you not heard of our dear Lord?
Oh, him. Yes, my nanny Aya read me stories from a book once, but there were no pictures.
Well, those are more than stories, Mary, much more.
Lord cries to his father, I'm dying. His father for us, he laid his life down to end all crime. He lived to bring us home. He rose to end our shame. When we give of ourselves, we're giving things to him.
A little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. Don't save it up, it's someone's rainy day. With faith and hope and love, these three, we're investing in eternity. We are our Father's keeper, we are our Father's friends, and a little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. Yes, a little bit of kindness goes a long, long way.
Doesn't Lord Craven have a copy of the good book in that big library of his?
Oh, yes, the beautiful one, with pictures. I could take it to you sometime if you like. Oh, the dinner bell. It's way too early. Mayhaps Mrs. Medlock woke up with her headache and needs one to order about. I best go see to it, Mother.
That's fine. We need to be going anyway. We have a long walk before nightfall. Goodbye, dearest. Oh, Miss Mary, it was a lovely picnic. We so enjoy the stories that Martha tells us of far off India.
Oh, Miss Mary, come quick. Master Colin's throwing one of his fits, the worst ever, and he's rattling the house up screaming your name. You best come.
He must be stopped, he must! Someone should beat him!
Things are becoming right interesting around here. Perhaps it's time his lordship knew how interesting. Let's go.
You stop it! You stop it right there! I hate you! Everyone hates you! If you don't stop this instant, we'll all run out of the house and let you scream yourself to death!
Now you're already worried, waiting for your morning and you never came and you promised!
I did nothing of the sort!
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't. And if no one came, it's entirely your fault. I remember a time when no
How dare you say such things to me? Get out, you!
Fine. I was going to tell you all about my lovely picnic on the moor. I also would have shown you some of the garden books your father got me.
You got your books?
Yes, he likes me. I would have told you all about my friend Dickon, too.
Who is Dickon?
You don't know anything, do you, locked away in here? Dickon is Martha's brother, and he's stomped all the animals on the moor. They all think he's one of them.
If he's Martha's brother, he's just some dirty little common little cottage boy.
He's nicer than any boy that ever lived. He's an angel, a perfect angel, and he's certainly better than any common little rusher like you.
You aren't to see him anymore. Do you hear me? You're only to see me.
I'll do what I please, Mr. Raja, and I'll see whom I like. And now I'm going, and I'm never coming back.
You'll come back if I say so, or else I'll have to drag you back.
If you do, I shall sit in this chair, I shall clench my teeth, and I shall stare at the floor, and I will never say another word to you, ever, not even about the garden.
Have you found the garden? Have you found it, Mary? Have you? Oh, you are the most selfish thing. No one cares about me. And if I shall die, no one shall care. And I shall die right this minute, because I can feel it. I can feel the lump. It's growing.
Shut up!
Miss Mary, what are you doing?
There's nothing there, nothing at all. It's just your imagination.
But there must.
Martha, come tell me what you see.
No, perhaps he'll bite me.
Come here and tell me what you see.
Why, only Master Colin's thin little back.
And do you see any lumps?
Well, only the spiny lumps, so everyone has.
Then there are no lumps like my father's?
Coo, Master Colin, is that what you thought? Why, if you had asked me, I could tell you there's no lump such as big as a pin there.
Thank you, Martha. You may go. You see, there's nothing there. Nothing at all. And if you ever say it again, I shall laugh.
Then you think I shall live forever?
Yes, of course. Just lay down and go to sleep.
I have a terrible headache.
And no wonder. There, now, shall I smooth your brow and sing you a song that Dickon's mother...
Dickon?
I mean Aya, yes, my Aya sang to me in 4 of thinking that. Okay, now quiet down. A little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. Don't save it up, it's someone's rainy day. With faith and hope and love, these 3, you're investing in eternity. We are our brother's keeper, we are our cousin's friend, and a little bit of kindness goes a long, long way. Yes, a little bit of kindness goes a long, long way.
Are you Mary? Are you truly my friend?
Of course, we are cousins after all. Good night, Colin.
Good night, Mary.
And so, that night, I had made another friend, for I had begun to understand a little bit of what Martha's mother had been trying to teach me. Why, my heart was growing a little bigger and a little softer, too, where the magic was working its way through all of us. The next day, after consulting with Dickon in the garden, we agreed on a plan to handle Cousin Colin. I arrived bright and early to put our plan into action.
Oh, there, Cousin Mary. I had Master put in trays so that we could eat breakfast together. Master's mother sent over some lovely currant buns and cream, and I thought that we could look at my mother's Indian opening collection.
Yes, well, that might be very nice on some other occasion.
Oh, well, maybe you could look at your gardening books. I have some lovely picture books.
Colin, are you a boy who can keep a secret like Dickon can?
If I had a secret to keep. Oh, Mary, is it about the garden? Have you found it, Mary? Have you?
Shh! Yes, but we mustn't let Ned walk here.
You mentioned it last night, but with my aching head, I forgot. But it doesn't ache anymore.
Deacon, you mean he's already seen it?
I needed Dickon to bring it back to life. Oh, Colin, don't be a terrible pout. Dickon helped me. He did bring it back to life. And when I take you there, you shall know you're alive too.
Shall I see it, Mary? Really?
Yes, but I can't smuggle you out alone. What we need is a boy with a strong back to wheel your chair.
Perhaps if Dickon were still here, maybe he could help us.
Oh, so you mean you shouldn't mind a dirty little cottage boy seeing you?
Oh, Mary, I did email you saying last night, please won't you find him and ask him if he might?
I don't need to find him. He's right outside with Martha.
Oh, Mary, do let him in right now, please.
Okay, come on then.
Here's our Dickon, Master Colin, and all of his creatures. Today he brought with him a robin, a fox, and a rabbit.
Hello, Master Colin.
What does it want?
It wants his mother, but she died in a rainstorm on the moor. Here, you can feed it a wee bit.
Come on, you little bunny. I'll be your mother.
What on earth is going on here? Martha, what have you done?
Leave her alone, Medlock. It's I who brought them in here, not she.
You, Master Colin? But whatever for? And you, what are you doing here? Oh, and these horrid creatures.
Oh. Mary is my cousin. She is much right to be here as you. In fact, more. And you should have never crept her away from me and asked for these wee animals.
But they're so unhygienic. Oh, what if your father...
I am master of this manor when my father's away. I never forget that, Medlock.
Yes, of course, Master Colin, but...
Now I'm going into the gardens and I only want my cousin Mary and Dickon to accompany me. All of them must stay away. Do you understand?
Yes, but you can't go into the garden. Oh, Master Colin, you can't go into the garden with that moor boy.
Our Dickon is the trustiest lad in all of Yorkshire. Why, he can be trusted with a newborn babe.
I bet he can, Mrs. Medlock.
Master Colin, you can't go into the garden, into the fresh air. Oh my goodness, what about that terrible lung fever? Have you forgotten about that?
I have forgotten nothing. It is you who have forgotten. The doctor said if I should be put in the fresh air and sunshine, I should get well. Well, Mary and Dickon have, and I tend to get well and live. Now, out of my way, Medlock, or else I shall throw up fits that you can never see.
Hi, Master Colin. I do it for your sake, even though you're fair breaking my heart. I wouldn't want you to go into hysterics and cause yourself some harm. Oh, but, I don't know what I'm going to tell your father when you come down with something dire.
You'll tell him nothing, Medlock. Nothing at all. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Well, how did I do?
I suppose being a young Roger has its uses.
Aye, Master Colin. Why, you could live in Buckingham Palace itself, your lordship.
I nearly fainted when she stormed in.
Yes, and so did Martha.
Well, how should we get in? There is no door.
Yes, why, here it is.
And here's the key. My friend the Robin showed it to me.
Robin, open to Mary. Let's go in.
Soil nurturing life, mysterious birth, nature's completeness, cropping up out of the earth, we breathe a wildly scented sweetness. With early every shade of purple, gold, crimson hue. Tangled in
But it's grand too. I do believe it's one of the most grand places on all Moor.
Right now, I think that there should be big golden trumpets and music.
That is just how it should be, with all the birds and wild creatures dancing about.
Well, we haven't any trumpets, but we do have trumpet lilies, and bluebells and roses fit for heaven itself.
My mother's in heaven. Do you think she can see me now?
Of course she can. Same as all mothers do when they're out in this world. And she'll be mighty pleased to see thee here in this place where she loved.
What's them voices I hear? Why, it's you scrawny buttermilk-faced wench. I never liked you. And if you were mine and I'm not a bachelor, why, I'd put you...
Big Weatherstaff! It was the robin who showed me the way. She's telling the truth, old Ben.
Who's in there with you? Is that Dickon? And who's the pasty-faced kid?
Wheel me over there right this minute. You know who I am.
Aye, with your mother's eyes staring back at me. You're the cripple boy.
I am not crippled. I am not.
You haven't got a crooked back?
Of course not. He hasn't got none so as big as a pen.
He's got crooked legs.
Who said I did? Who?
Well, if you haven't got either, what are you doing in the crippled chair?
Come over here right this minute.
You can do it. You can. You can.
Look at me. Just look at me.
He's as straight as me, and as any other lad in Yorkshire.
Some lies that people tell. Well, you'll grow to be a man yet. And your father, well, we hope your father will see you.
Do you think my father would like to see me in this prince that my mother loves so?
If he ever comes back.
The Lord says where the 2 or 3 will gather in his name, there he will be also.
And there are 4 of us. Perhaps he would hear us with full.
I'm sure he would.
So, how do we start?
My mother always says, start and end with praise and thanksgiving.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen.
That's when he's right in a place like this. What should we do now then?
Well, it always seems necessarily hard to speak poorly.
Lord of all, we humbly thank thee for all creatures great and small, for the sky and winds and raindrops, for the earth thou made them all, for the roses and the lilies, for
Sir?
What? Yes, of course.
This letter arrived for you a few weeks ago, sir. It's from the manager, Mr. Kent. Not knowing what else to do with it, sir. It's from Mrs. Sowerby. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I must leave at once. I can remain here no longer. I must return to Misselthwaite. Boy, here. Summon my coach, immediately.
Yes, sir. I want, sir.
And so the days passed, and we worked and frolicked in the sun-dappled fragrance of our secret garden, where the magic was everywhere, most especially in my cousin Colin. And unknown to us, the miracle was about to happen as well.
Your mother makes the very best muffins, Dickon.
Yes, and it's a good thing too. Also, I'll never get enough to eat.
But Master Colin, what would you be eating such great amount of food for a poor sick invalid such as you?
Deacon, your mother is as magic as you are. She makes just nice thoughts. Please tell she is a magic person. Please tell her that we are bounteous and our gratitude is in extreme.
I will be pleased to do that, Master Colin, if I can keep such fanciful words inside my poor brain. Said, whose time was it then? I think it were yours, Mary. You were up first last time.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ready or not, here.
What's going on? What's happening here? Tell me, girl.
Father, you've come. You've come home at last.
Colin? Is it truly you? Or am I dreaming again?
You are not dreaming. It is truly me, Father.
My boy! My boy! What has happened to you? What in heaven has happened?
Aren't you glad, Father? I'm going to live forever.
Yes, my boy, yes. Perhaps it's not too late for me to be a real father to the son my dear Lilith left me. My boy!
It were Mary, sir. She did. She brought the garden back to life. And God hearing our prayers. And he used her. She is the one.
You said I might have a bit of us. It wasn't my fault.
Mary, come here, child. I said come here, lass. Please. Is it true, Mary?
It was there, all alone. Don't you see? It had no one to love it, like Colin and me.
Yes. I do see. Finally.
Please, Father, don't be angry. It was magic. Mary's magic.
right. It's in you, Mary. God's power is in you. It was you and your prayers that brought my littlest garden back to life and returned my son to me. And in so doing, you brought me back to life as well.
Uncle?
No, child. Uncle no longer. Father. Please, Mary. Father.